Hi Liz, it's Adrian here. I don't have a cameraman, so I've just had to balance the camera on the chair. I hope you can see me and hear what I'm trying to do. This is one of your heads that I've lapped, this on this side. And this is the one from this Adams timp that I'm going to show you how to put a head on. Just a little bit about the lapping. Normally, when we lap, you have the lapping on the outside. That's what I was trying to say with the extra diameter. So this bit of lapping here, all the lapping on this Adams one, and this is how I normally do it, the lapping is on the outside, a bit like a car tyre thing, so making the whole thing wider. But I try to do technique, Pete and I discussed it, and what we've done is I've actually pushed the lapping round so it's on the top. So it's come a little bit further round, it's on the top, and although that means that your hoop will be pushing down on it, it eliminates the risk of it being too wide because there's hardly any skin around the outside of the hoop. I hope you can see what I mean by that. So all the lapping is on this face. Now one very important thing is that you put the head on the right way up. Sounds obvious, just thought I'd better clarify that. So you always have the writing facing the player. And this is called German lapping. When you're using a timp like yours with a hoop that is L-shaped like this, then you do it this way round. And if the hoop is just a straight band of metal with a ring on it, then you'd lap the other way up and you would actually put the head on this way up. But obviously you'd lap it the other side, so the cowl is always facing the player. So it's this way up with the rim on top, the hoop on top. So you're going to be putting your skin on like that, exactly like I'm putting this Adams one on. So I'm just going to get a glass of water. Right, so we're going to use a normal glass of water, nothing special, just not too hot, not too cold, on the cold side, out of the cold tap. Normal glass. We'll probably use that all up, which might be quite surprising, but we'll probably use that. So here's the head we're going to be putting on, exactly the same as yours. So it's again with the hoop on the top and the cowl facing the player. So I'm putting it on where it went last time. Obviously that isn't the case on your drum, but I'm also putting the hoop, I've marked it around here, the hoop's going on where it went last time. So before I do that, I'm going to put all the taps in. Bear with me, this is a bit dull. So you could put your tension rods in. Obviously there's loads of thread, so this is a bit boring. While you wait for me to do this, so not really any tension on this. The whole thing's very flappy anyway. See how loose it is. This is quite an old head. It's been off a few times before. It's not ideal, but it's this drum occasionally has had to be used with a plastic head on. So I have taken it off a few times, and it'll be okay. Actually, if they're old heads and you take them off and put them back on again, they sound better. It sort of gives them a new lease of life, but it's not that ideal to do it too often. This head has probably had its time. You see, you've had a playing spot there. I'll probably play it there this time and try and use up another portion of it. Now, just one little word on the backbone. The backbone is quite important. The backbone always runs through the cowl, if you know what I mean, through the image here. So the backbone on this one is there, and the backbone on your other one is actually, it's clearer to see. Do you see this white patch here? This is the backbone running through the cow. Now you always want the backbone on across two tension points because it has a slightly different pitch sometimes, and you want to be able to adjust it. And it also, I'll come on to where you play it relative to the tension points, but you always want the backbone exactly by two of your tension rods. And I've lapped it, they should be very, very nearly in the middle, if not exactly in the middle. So your backbone through the cow, okay? So, I can't tip the drum up obviously when I put the water on, but basically, it's going to get not too much of the water. I'm going to drop it in the middle of the head, right in the middle up. The very important thing is we don't want any water to go down the cracks. We don't want it to get to right under the hoop. We want it to go all round the middle. We have to wet the whole thing. The most important area to wet is where it's already formed a collar on my timp. We need to get rid of this collar, and we need your timp to make its own collar. So we need to get it wet up to this point, but we mustn't get any water in there because that's going to undo my lapping. It's not disastrous, but it's just the way to go. Normal kind of cleaning cloth, I'm going to pour a bit of water in the middle of the head, and as soon as it runs off to the side, I'm going to stop it with the cloth. I'm just going to, that's all I'm doing, just wiping it in. Don't press too hard obviously, we don't want to stretch the head. And now, it's still dry here, so just a bit more water. Now I'm just about touching the edge of the bowl, and these ripples, which you can see, should start to come out. Get nice and wet. Now I'm just going over the edge of the bowl. I don't have any drips of water running down there. It's still dry in there. But I've just started to get this edge wet and work on the edge. That's the most important bit. Although this head has been on this drum before, it still needs to sort of lose its collar and reform a new one. And yours is even more important because obviously the bowl of the timp that it lived on for the last couple of days isn't the same size as your bowl, and so we need to get rid of that, your collar, the collar that's existing, and pretend that that timp head is flat, and when you put it on yours it's like it was never on a timp before. So, get it round, not pushing very hard, I'm just keeping the water moving. So you can hear that air in it. Alright, it's getting quite wet now. The head's starting to feel quite almost spongy and elastic. Again, don't push any tighter than I've been just pushing. Used about half the water now, but I'm going to keep going. If you're in a real hurry to get the drum playable, you can use, less water, but to do it really properly you need everything nice and wet. The reason the whole head has to be wet is because when you tighten it up and retension it, the kind of head has an elasticity and it'll settle itself down. It'll help you with equalising itself up. But that will only happen if the head is sort of completely wet and therefore allowed to stretch itself